XDrive assembly instructions. Pro tips before installation. Make sure all gutter seams are properly sealed and caulked before XDrive installation. Make sure XDrive assembly is positioned on the high side of the drive louver. Make sure there are no gutter screws that would interfere with the XDrive assembly range of motion. The following sequence of instruction is the recommended process to assemble your XDrive successfully. Before you begin, you will need some tools. You will need a ladder, a drill, a mallet, a bolt driver with extension, a 1/8 drill bit, XDrive assembly parts, pinion, rack, 6 Tex screws, 3/8 inch, back bracket with 4 Tex screws, 2 10mm clevis pin with cotter pin, 1 120mm IP69 motor. Identify pivot pin, track pin, and drive pin. Assemble the drive louver, drive pin, track pin, and pivot pin on the opposite end of the louver. Identify the high side to receive the XDrive assembly. Place drive louver in desired center location. If you have an even number of louvers, either side will be sufficient. Align the track bar holes with the pivot bar grooves. Install nylon washer onto the drive louver track pin. Install track bar onto nylon washer. Lift drive louver and attach XDrive to the drive louver. Be sure to keep your pinion arm vertical to install onto the track pin. Install locking washer and set down unit. Lift opposing end of the drive louver and pivot up and out in order to place the XDrive end of the louver into the space between the pivot bar and the gutter. Set the opposing end of the drive louver back into the pivot bar. Insert your 1/8 drill bit into the pinion bar hole. Fasten housing to the beam. Ensure that the unit is level. Use a 3/8 inch Tex screw to fasten the housing to the beam. Move to the other side of the housing and ensure that side is level. Install 3 3/8 inch Tex screws. Then install the remaining 2 Tex screws. Install remaining louvers working from the center louver out. Remove your 1/8 drill bit and close the louvers. Install motor to the XDrive using 10mm clevis pin and cotter pin. Install back bracket to the motor before mounting to the beam with provided clevis pin and cotter pin. Fasten to beam with the 4 3/8 inch Tex screws. Complete the proper wire assembly. Open and close the louvers to verify the full range of the motor. Install cap bar and the XDrive assembly instructions are complete.